I've come along as a handbag to this trip, and I've got a lot out of it. So as a way of giving back, I wanted to ask a question, because I've got a lot out of the responses you've made to other questions. And you've already answered my question, but I thought I'd carry through with it anyway.
Yeah.
By any objective assessment, I live a really good life. Really good. Except by one
Quality?
Quality, everything. Quality, exactly, yeah. And the one thing that isn't so good seems fundamental based on what you've been saying. So I need to explain what it is. And I need to say up front that up until now, this is a secret only my wife and my psychiatrist know about. So I don't like talking about it because it gives it attention. But I'm offering it up as a way of saying thanks. I have really, really bad chronic depression, which sometimes manifests as suicidal tendencies, violence, stuff like that.
That's good news. We're not kidding. Because what that means is sometimes you come into such full alignment with who you are. Sometimes the momentum of your desire gets moving so fast, and your conscious realization of how life is supposed to feel is so big that when you aren't there, you sort of freak out.
Mm-hmm.
It's the downside of feeling good. When you don't, you really don't.
And the contrast, like you were saying before.
Yeah. So you have the ability to master your focus more than you are. But don't start by proclaiming a malady or a dysfunction. Don't start by focusing upon the part of your life that isn't wanted and strike out to fix it or change it, because your thoughts matter, and what you focus upon, you practice. And so as you practice, you hold the vibration steady in your experience. So as you hear more and more from us, and as life causes you to put more and more into your vortex, and as you find yourself in alignment more frequently, so that more and more of who you really are is being experienced by you, as that momentum of who you are is allowed by you to get stronger and stronger, the moments or the subjects where you don't do it feel really, really strong. We said to a group the other day that the way you most know the power of the love of Source is in your darkest moments, because those dark moments, those depressive moments, those negative moments could not exist if they were not playing up against what Source really is offering to you. And that's why we started by saying to you, this is good news, not bad news. Now you have the choice of becoming a clearer master of the way you focus. And we think that's really what this conversation is about more than anything. We also want to say to you that what causes that to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, or even more and more frequent, is a misunderstanding of what to do about it. And here's what it is bluntly. When you dig in to what you think are the problems that are causing you to feel that way, you practice the vibration and launch more rockets of desire, but you practice the vibration that is holding you apart from who you are, so the tug of war just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why we say, when you don't feel good, stop thinking about it, because every thought that you're thinking about it as you're trying to fix it is a thought that is practiced resistance. That's a hard thing for most of you to hear, because most of you believe that you got to find a problem and fill it. You got to find a problem and solve it. That you got to find a need and fill it. That your job here is to ferret out what's wrong. And we say every time you do that, you practice a vibration that just holds you in that stronger place. And meanwhile, your desire is calling you in a stronger and stronger way. So the worse negative emotion you feel, the worse it is, the more Source is calling you. Go to bed. Take a nap. Try to meditate if you can, but don't struggle within the thought, because the tension will just get greater. And in that case, it will not subside until something distracts you from whatever the thought is. You cannot work your way out of it that way. You just can't. Can you accept that? The laws of the universe do not allow it. You cannot poke at what's wrong when what is calling you is calling in such a strong way without causing the tension, the tug of war within you to get greater and greater and greater. If you sort of want something and you don't believe you can have it, you're sort of bummed out that you're sort of not going to get what you sort of want. No big deal. But when you really, really, really want something and your belief contradicts it, that is suffocating. That is unbearable. And the longer it goes on, the more unbearable it is, you see. And you know, we're just going to give this to you softly because we're not anticipating that you're following through with any action on this. But the reason the idea of reemerging in the non-physical seems like the path of least resistance is because there is no resistance and the tug of war would stop in the moment. But that's not what you're about. You didn't come to stop the tug of war. That's not mastery. That's not mastery. That's reemerging in the non-physical. Everyone's going to do it. 100% of you are going to do that. 100% of you are going to do that. All of you are going to do that. We're just going to rub that in. All of you are going to do that. That's not mastery. That's the natural byproduct of this physical exploration of the universe. Now what?
I'm satisfied with that.
Be really easy about it and be really happy about it and understand what a step 5 conversation this is. What a really important step 5 conversation this is. This strong negative emotion that I'm feeling is a good thing, not a bad thing. And it's evidence of guidance, not evidence of dysfunction. It's evidence of the power of my desire. Period. It's evidence of the power of my desire. But it's evidence of a powerful desire that right now I can't even catch a piece of the tail of. So I'm not going to try. Because if I try right now, I'm just going to convince myself that I'm not good at this when I really am. That's like deciding that you're going to go to the garden to pick really delicate blossoms. And you've decided to do it in the darkness of night. So you're trampling the plants. You can't see what you're doing, so you're just sort of feeling and pulling and putting it all in your basket. And when you get in, you've destroyed your plants and you haven't picked anything that's ripe and ready to eat because you did it under adverse conditions. What we're encouraging you to do is stop doing things under adverse conditions. Wait till the sun comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, one other little fine-tuning, please. You've been mentioning about how fundamental joy is. So I very rarely experience joy. So how have I been able to live this life without that feeling of joy? Is because those are all times when I do experience it that's led to it, or what's happened?
Do you ever feel interested in something?
All the time.
That's joy. Do you ever wonder about something and feel an appetite growing within you?
Mm-hmm.
That's joy. Do you ever have a really clear moment about something when you're doing something or when you're fixing something or... Mm-hmm. That clarity is joy. Don't let big smiling faces and people jumping up and down be your definition of joy.
That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Enough? Really good. Yeah.
Thank you. I feel such wonderful exhilaration about the body and this experience, particularly from talking to you the other day about the sort of joy of discovery out of adversity, out of contrast.
Discovery is a joyful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially at first. Joyful.
A wonderful way to see that and just attach my understanding. And since then, I've had all these experiences that are wonderful, clarifying, furthering on of all that.
It's not nice because words don't teach.
Oh.
But they do cause you to focus. And then life experience brings the clarity.
And they come and...
Yeah.
And this whole... The way I've started to work at thinking about it, not even work's so too strong a word, but it's sort of a delight in this loving invitation I give to that part of me that's still a little clunky, still a little blocked, but it's the discovering piece of that and the unfoldingness of that that's...
We would like you to feel some satisfaction in your clunkiness. Oh, yeah. In other words, don't be so quick to evaluate and compare where you stand with anything other than the improved emotion that you are feeling. Because the only relativity that matters, not the relativity between you and someone else, not the comparison of quality between you and anything that anyone else is living, but the relativity between you and what your inner being knows about this same subject right here, right now. That's it. That's it. That relativity.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. Really good.
So what do you want to talk about now?
It's really this sort of understanding the patient impatience about what's next and that unfoldingness.
That's very wise recognition. That's important to know. Esther will hear someone say, thank you for your patience, and she always says, you have me mixed up with someone else. Because she sometimes thinks that patience is a sort of giving into what is. And Esther is rarely one who is willing to give in to what is, because she believes that all things are possible. So she doesn't want to give in. And yet it's a really delicate balance there, because if you're fighting against what is, you're not giving in to what you really want. And so that patience, impatience may be the best two emotions to focus on a moment-to-moment basis, to realize whether or not you are helping or hindering your own closing of your gap, whether you're helping yourself get into the receptive mode or whether you're hindering yourself from being in the receptive mode. So that slight tension, isn't it interesting? That slight tension between not being quite there, but being almost there and then getting there. Isn't that delicious?
And the joy of that, unfolding of that.
So can you feel joy in the tension? Can you feel joy in the choosing? Don't you prefer a selection? Do you want whatever you want? Do you want someone to just hand you your best choice? Or would you like to be in on the process? Esther was telling a friend yesterday, they were shopping, and someone went to the gift shop and they said, there's nothing there that you want to see. And Esther thought, I'll be the judge of that. Because nobody really knows for sure what I'm looking for today. I'm looking for things today that I didn't even know I was looking for yesterday. It's all up to you to decide, isn't it? What else?
No, that's
really good.
That's very good.
Really good. Yeah.